a big round of applause.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, how y'all doing this afternoon? All right, good to see y'all in attendance. Some of you guys remember me, some of you guys don't. Actually ran into a nurse that I had when I was in SSN DePaul way back in the day. She's like, you were in room 103, weren't you? I'm like, I don't remember, I was coming out of the coma. But thank you all for coming out and letting me ramble to you for an hour. Just tell you my story and how I'm recovering and how I've gotten to where I'm at today. Because there's a lot of new technology out there, a lot of new off-shelf therapies that do help, that need to become mainstream, and I'm doing everything I can when I go speak at the BIAA in Washington, D.C. to Congress in March of next year. All right, so let's start out how this happened to me. So anyways, I have a 9mm hollow point in my frontal lobe behind my right eye. And I got the slideshow up here, but I like to talk. So, from what I was told, I met a woman on Facebook, and on 11/24/21, we went out for a beer up in Farmersville, Illinois, which is about an hour north of here. And she was a woman out of Troy, Illinois. She was a concealed carry trainer, and she had taught women self-defense also. Now, you wouldn't think that a woman like that would have a psychotic ex-boyfriend, would you? Well, apparently Kristen knew his homework. And he had put a tracker on her van, and we met at a local bar up in town there, and after the bar, I went back to my house to make pizza. And that's not code word for anything, that is true. So, we did go make a pizza. But so anyways, long story short, he tracked us back to my house, broke in my back door. Shot me in the head, left me for dead. I lived there for 13 to 14 hours before EMS found me Thursday morning, approximately 11 a.m. with no pulse, body temperature 72 degrees, and I came back. Found her murdered behind my Christmas tree. And I kind of talk funny, not because of the paralysis that I had suffered on my left-hand side, which was completely paralyzed. So I laid in a coma from the 24th of November of 21 until 1/12/22 when I woke up at Paul Hospital. As I'm cussing to the moon, going, what the? You can probably think of all the colorful words that was coming out of my mouth. And nurse came rushing in, Chris, calm down. You were shot in the head by Leslie's ex-boyfriend. I said, I don't know a freaking Leslie. And that's when I woke up and I came to, and that's when this journey began.
Chris, let's get that next slide drawn up here.
All right. This is my cousin, the real Dr. Smith of the family. I think I'm one because I play one on TV now, and I've researched my butt off for the last 3.5 years. But he's here to save me on this right here, because I ramble and talk loud. But good sound bites.
We had a great discussion last week to cover all the important points that Chris wanted to bring up, and as many of the passionate people here in the room can attest, when we get excited about a particular therapy or treatment that's been beneficial, then Chris wants to emphasize that. And so I'm just here to be supportive to the results that he's achieved over the last year. So I thought it was important for Chris to be able to show these photos, because when you see the man in front of you today who's standing and speaking, it's hard to imagine that this is where things started. So Chris, tell us a little bit about the surgeries and therapies that you had to go through when you were first resuscitated.
All right, well, when I first woke up from my coma on 1/13/22, my first neurologist, my first neurosurgeon I had, his name was Dr. Victor Williams, great guy. I wish he was here to attend us today because he'd be pretty happy. And he said, Chris, which I knew my sister was a neuro nurse. I did not know that he was her boss. So he came and he sat down, he's like, look me in the eye, and I was bawling my eyes out. He goes, Chris, you'll never walk again. And I looked at him and I said, Victor, you just told the wrong person you can't do something, because I'm going to do it out of spite just to prove you wrong. And that's what I've done. I'm not running yet, but I will. I'm going to. And then he said, don't you know to use your arm again? Well, I can't put myself in the face now, but I'm not able to use my hand yet, but I can grip it and I can open it, but I will play guitar again too. So the wrong person was shot, and I'm that pain in the butt kid in the back of the class. Don't do that. You can't do that. You won't do that. Oh, yes, I will. And what you all need to know, I know every brain injury is different, but for all you doctors, nurses, whatnot, encourage your patients. You tell them that they will heal. You tell them to keep their sense of humor. You tell them, just don't ever give up. We are all unstoppable. As he told me when I first talked to him after Woke with Coma, he said, Chris, we cannot, as doctors, measure and test the fortitude. Because, we have the power in our brains to manifest anything that we want bad enough. You just got to envision it. You got to want it. You want to do it. You will do it. So there I go rambling again.
No, you're doing great, Chris. Tell me, what surgical procedures did you actually have to undergo as a result of this injury? Because if there's any skeptics in the room, you would think that how amazing Chris is doing, that this might have been a glancing wound. But as you can tell from the CT images there, this was a direct impact on his brain. You can still see the metallic bullet there in his brain. This was yes, this was a very real, severe injury. And so, what did they have to do in order to help you recover from a surgical standpoint?
Well, when they took me to Springfield, Illinois, which is the Level 1 Trauma Center up there at HS St. John's, they basically had to cut out my whole side of my right skull. So it fragmented and pick out the pieces out of my brain, the bullet fragments. So they were not able to save my bone flap. So I had to get a prosthetic bone flap, which Dr. Williams and I went round and round about, because the whole time I was laying there, so I had 2 months to wait before I could get my new bone flap. He wanted to put a PEEK implant, which is a smooth one. I was like, no, we're putting a med pore. The pore is one that my tissues and fibers can adhere to. Well, we ended up going with Dr. Williams' route. And what had happened after that, my scar line had adhesion. So it kept splitting open. And finally was working out at the gym, and this was in fall of 22. And it kept splitting open again. And so went to another doctor down at WashU, God love him, Dr. Jason Rich, who does only heads and necks solely, is all he operates on. So anyways, he tried to put together, he's like, Chris, it's not gonna last. You have infected hardware. I'm like, no. So, stubborn Chris went on for a few more months, and I'm getting infected, so they had to pull it out, and he ended up putting a med pore plate in there. And that's been over 2 years now, and I haven't had any problems with it. So, hopefully you guys will run any stubborn patients like me that do research, that think they're doctors, but we'll keep you on your toes. But you know what? As patients, we do have to advocate for ourselves. You guys all do go to school for 8 years, whatever. I've had that conversation too. You're the patient. I went to school for 8 years. Well, I'm the car, you're the mechanic. So it's a love-hate relationship. I respect what doctors do, but I'm here to help all the doctors, all the researchers. The main thing that is you talk about procedures. I underwent meningial stem cell transplants twice now. In November of last year and in May of this year. And before then, my left side was dead. Dead as a doornail. Rock, like a bag of bricks. Could not do anything. I could ambulate very little with a cane, but within 3.5, 4 hours of getting my first treatment, so it's intranasal meningeal stem cell transplants, MSCs. They harvest them from your pelvis bone, and actually doctor of WashU actually is one that works up there, True Stem, up there in the Chicagoland area. No, I'm not on the payroll, but they're the only neural stem cell place in the United States. Other than that, you get to go to Mexico, which no thank you. But MSC transplants really do work for TBI and for stroke recovery. They basically have given me my life back.
Chris, how did you hear about that option in Chicago, and what were the steps to go through in order to have those procedures done?
Well, I got on my little phone and research, man. I called you and bugged you all the time about it too, remember? I'm like, come on, dude, let's do it at Mercy. Talk to your buddies there. It's like, they're opening a new stem cell project. I was like, come on, dude, let's do it. So I found True Stem and called, it wasn't cheap. It's not covered by insurance. And as my neurologist now, Dr. Alexander Cardin of WashU says, he wasn't on board at first. All right, he's like, Chris, stem cells are wild, wild west. I said, well, I'll prove to you that I'm an outlaw then, is what I said to him. And now he is on board with them. And he said to me, quote unquote, Chris, this would be a pain in the ass for me to go mainstream because the FDA and Big Pharma are basically in bed with each other, because once meningeal stem cell transplants do go through, Big Pharma's will lose trillions of dollars. I don't care. So So when I do go to DC with the BIAA this coming March, I'm gonna do everything I can to get a hold of whoever I need to talk, RFK, whoever. The FDA needs to approve MSC transplants, not even for just TBIs and strokes. It can help MS and ALS too. I mean, they have over hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of patients that they've treated up there. And I got numbers for y'all from the actual owner of the place too. But I mean, it's a shame that there are therapies to help people like this with brain injuries and brain diseases heal. And quite honestly, it pisses me off that the damn government's keeping us from healing. But that's a whole nother thing, sorry.
No apologies, no apologies. Chris, how long after the trauma did you get the stem cell therapy? And then can you tell us what that experience was like?
Going on, let's see, two and a half years afterwards, and it was great. I mean, it didn't hurt at all. They basically drill your bone marrow out of your pelvis area, and then they process it to get the mesenchymal cells out of your bone marrow. And that takes about an hour and a half. And then what they do, they re-inject intranasal up your nostril to the vessels feeding your brain. And then once they are reintroduced up to the vessels traveling to your brain, they break the blood-brain barrier and go straight to the damaged part of your brain like a heat-seeking missile and transform them into baby neural cells. And within 3.5 hours of my first treatment, my knee down, my ankle, and my foot came alive. I got videos of me go like this, curl my toes.
Thank you for your strength, Chris, because this is your experience.
I got
This
videos,
is what you went
and I
through.
was going, look, up and down, up and down. I mean, it was awesome. It was like the first time when I woke up in the coma and I got to stand up and pee. It was like, I'm ready to have a party. I mean, it's like, I mean, the things we all take for granted in life, folks. I mean, I learned how to tie my shoes with my teeth in my hand, my right hand. And I did an interview with CBS Channel 4 KMOV here in St. Louis, and I was known as a voila guy because after I tied my shoes, like, let me see you tie your shoe with your hand and your teeth. I went, okay, voila. So it was like the joke. People around here, hey, this Chris Smith, voila. I'm like, yeah, I know. I'll never live that one down. But I mean, buttoning your shirt, putting the belt to the belt loops. I mean, everything in life. I mean, we take life for granted. Everything. I mean, we don't know. We never know how many grains are left in our hourglass and when the last one's gonna drop, you know? It's like, I coined this phrase, life gives us hands us lemon and limes. We gotta dig down deep for that tequila, that sugar water, make poor man's margaritas. There's no time for pity parties. No one cares about what's going on with you. We just gotta pull our bootstraps up, grab the world by the, you know what, and go with it. You know, I mean, I am so walking this earth to motivate, inspire, give hope, health, and restore faith in God to people. I did have a near-death experience, and I will argue to any doctor that it was not my neurons dying on, my accidents, or anything like that. I have proof, because one of the angels told me to deliver a message to my mother. So when I came back, I had proof to share with the world that we do go on after we leave this world. You all can think I'm crazy, but I'm not. I'll take the damn lie detector test, and I'll prove y'all wrong. I've already done an interview with this gentleman named John Borg. He's written several books on near-death experiences and things like that, and he's featured me in his next book. So I mean, I'm here to help people, here to save the world, so to speak. But if I can put a smile on your face, make you laugh, make you cry, and inspire you, motivate you, that's what I'm here for. And I talk a lot.
Chris, your strength is inspiring to folks who've overcome brain injury, but you're inspiring to so many of us. And so thank you for being willing to share your experience with the near-death experience and your faith, because I've heard from a lot of folks who've had those experiences that initially sharing them is quite difficult for fear, as you acknowledge.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't talk about it for 2 years. I mean, I kept it on the rats till 24. When we were sitting down in our kitchen, I had lived with my parents for the first year. That was great. No, my mom's pretty cool. God love her. But pictures. So anyways, yeah, I kept it under wraps, and I finally told her in front of the whole crew. So that was my proof right there. I was kind of scared because that was the last thing I do remember the one thing that I remember when I woke up in a coma. I remember passing my neighbor's house on the way home from work that afternoon, driving home. And the voice in my head, the inner voice that we all have, it's called intuition, whatever, saying, don't go home. Don't go out, stay home. Don't go out, stay home. And then I woke up, it's 1:12:22, from, in the hospital at DePaul being told I was shot in the head. And it was, so that's the second thing I remember was my NDE, but the last damn thing I was do is tell my neurosurgeon, oh yeah, I saw angels. Be like, okay, bye-bye, pat over for you, see you later. So, no. But I mean, it's like, shit. Sorry. Wait a minute. We're all adults here. So anyways, I mean, I just hope that from my experience, I can help others recover and show that we can recover. And especially with mesenchymal stem cell transplants, they are the answer to TBIs and for stroke survivor and recovery. I mean, there's like so many things out there in the market, not even mainstream insurance, Medicaid, Medicare, they don't even want to cover. But then the government wants bitches that, well, they're our government chiefs. Well, you know what? Give us the tools to heal. There's devices out there. There's brain network interface devices. There's the IPSI hand. I mean, there's Modus hand. I mean, there's so many devices out there. But, I mean, I can ramble on forever about that. But, I mean, I got a website you guys can check out. It's called ChrisSmithMotivatingYou.com. You can reach out to me on there for that. I'm embarking on doing motivational speaking. My book is actually being turned into a movie script now, too. And O2 Network is giving a green light on my story as well. So, I mean, I always want to be famous for being a rock star and being a lead singer and not for getting shot in the head and surviving. But God knows what he wants on his own time, right?
Amen to that. Chris, you acknowledged some pretty novel therapies that have been beneficial to you. Are there other devices that if you have received any stimulator devices and things like that?
Well, yeah, my home TENS unit. I sit there and shock our arm. It's put on top right here. I've learned so much about the human body, more than I ever wanted to learn in my entire life. It's like, do we all know that our fingertips are attached all the way up here to our shoulders? That's what makes it go. Our peripheral nerve cluster up here, same with our peripheral nerve cluster in our hip down to our toes. I mean, and the best thing is for me is being able to look at the muscle chart of our body and all the tendons and ligaments, because I can actually think about it in my head and then they actually start trying to work. It's crazy what our brains can do, and I'm an advocate now that our human brain needs to be mapped. We need a human brain map being done so badly now. There's so much unlocked potential that our brains can do that doctors and research don't know about. And it's a shame it's going to be 2026. We should be way more far advanced in brains than we are. And I'll do whatever I can to make that happen. The one guy got shot.
You are walking the walk and talking the talk, Chris. Now, you have done all the physical therapies that have been recommended and you've completed the surgeries. What other aspects of your health are part of your daily routine now as far as
diet.
Working out and diet? Thank you.
5 days a week at the gym, cardio, weightlifting. I mean, when I first started lifting, when I first got out of woke up from the coma, I got back in the gym, and it was very hard. I couldn't even do anything. We had to tie stuff to my arm, tie my leg into the bike. But I mean, it's a process. It's like my future stepdaughter says, it's a process. And I mean, if you got the will to do it, you just got to, like for you therapists out there, you have patients that get discouraged, push them, encourage them, make them laugh. Just tell them to think about everything that it did before that their injury happened or whatever happened to them. You can get it back. You can get it back. You can. You just got to convince them to do it. I mean, if they believe it, they want it hard enough, they can make it happen. Any of us in all walks of life. I mean, I haven't really said this to anybody here. I used to say the stupid ass phrase before I was shot. I get ticked off. We all, I had the world by the cojones before I was shot. Own business, house, my daughter 50% of the time, but I get ticked off at the stupidest thing. It's like, shoot me in the head, shoot me in the head. Just like, I'd always say the stupid term. Well, look, I got what I wanted, right? I always complained that I wanted to be back in St. Louis. Well, so I either manifested or God put it here. Who knows? It's hard to say, but my point being is that if we believe something we want something bad enough, we can actually make it happen. I mean, that just goes to show. I mean, that's just the way we are wired as human beings. And it's crazy. It's crazy as it sounds, but the CIA has been training their agents to manifest like that since the 50s. I've researched way too much for the last 3.5 years. But I mean, there's so much stuff on the internet, thanks to FOIA Act now too, that you can research and find out. But thank God I've always been kind of a history and science nerd. That's really benefited me too. But back with Dr. Smith, my cousin was saying, diet and exercise. diet is huge. I eat about 1.5 pounds of blueberries every 2 days. I'm not even joking. Not even joking. They have the benefits of blueberries is not only the antioxidants in them, the flavonoids are excellent for our brains, excellent for inflammation, excellent for healing our brain cells too. And raw cacao beans. 2024 concluded studies by Cal Davis. 4 tablespoons of raw cacao a day increases our body's natural stem cell output ×2. And then a lot of salmon, a lot of tuna, fish. I mean, I eat red meat, not that much. I try to stay away from pork, and eat chicken. And I do not do sweets anymore. I don't drink soda. I eat pretty damn healthy. Nothing but no processed foods whatsoever. I'll eat some little pasta, but a lot of rice, baked potatoes, as far as starches, healthy carbs, no junk food. If I do have junk food, it'll be Taco Bell. It'll be the healthy steak feed or steak, whatever. But that's usually after I play a show and I need a lot of energy, which I burn it off. But health, diet, and exercise, and music. It's not just music that heals our brains, it's the actual frequency of music. That's what they call wave frequency therapy. I did a lot of that. Binary beats. But I think a lot of things gave me a leg up at getting shot in the head and recovering the way that I had. I had 9 documented concussions before I was shot in the head. From football, getting kicked in the head by a horse, hit my head on a diving board. Yeah, so I had brain damage a long time ago. That's between one thing. But so I said, joke with Justin, I was like, yeah, the bolt is slitting right in there. He's like, piece of cake, we'll use stuff like this. So, I don't remember anything from that night. Basically, my whole month of November is wiped out of 2021. Just gone. It's like, never even happened, which is bizarre. But, yeah, so diet, exercise, music, and being a musician, always playing music. So the best thing was when I started playing music last year again, now I came to find out through my research, a lot of stroke survivors, TBS survivors that are musicians, the paralyzed part of the side of the body will shake with the music, with the frequencies. They don't know why. You can look it up. But I have videos too of me. When I was singing, when I first got back singing, this arm would just go up and down with the beat, up and down, up and down. My old guitar player's like, put a tambourine in, so we did. And that ding I'm not joking, I've got videos to prove this. It goes up and down with the beat of the freaking music, and I have no control over it at all. It's crazy. Our minds are amazing. It's like I missed my calling. That's what he said. I should have been a doctor, but I was too stupid back then. But that's between nor there.
But Chris, you're here inspiring people today. I can't help but have flashbacks of the hundreds of times you influenced me when I was younger. Some for the good, some for the bad. Yeah, right? So I can't help but think back to days, the Sue Lauderdale House, and you're playing in your band.
Yeah.
And somebody seeing where you're at today might say, hey, Chris, live a little. You got to celebrate. Here's a beer. How do you feel about alcohol these days, especially as a brain injury survivor?
So like we were talking about therapies that help. I've tried a lot of off-shelf. I've tried psychedelics, magic mushrooms in layman's terms, psilocybin. So they restored the feeling of touch to my left side. I microdosed those for 3 months, and it about was about 9 milligrams a day for 3 months straight, and it brought back the sensation of touch in my arm and my leg. Not to like it was normal, but like less than it was, because it was like completely dead, like the numbness on it. But now I can feel it. My arm itches, I feel it itch now. It's back to where it was normally. But then I also tried epidural spinal cord stimulator implants because I saw it on CNN that University of Pittsburgh and University of Carnegie Mellon discovered they put spinal cord stimulators on a paralyzed woman's back. It woke up her left side. Well, it did restore some function, but not like it was supposed to. So tried those two. Didn't work. Hyperbaric therapy, bad no-no. If people with traumatic brain injuries or strokes, if they're going to have seizures from either or, they will manifest within the first 2 weeks, not 2.5 years later. So with my scalp piece that I had before the reconstruction, I had the opportunity to do hyperbaric therapy for the wound care. I'm like, I heard that, I saw it through my research, hyperbaric chamber is supposed to be really good for brain injuries. Wrong. I had a seizure of the damn thing. Never had an endocrine issue or a seizure issue.
ever up until I did that. So then all of a sudden I developed a secondary adrenal deficiency to where my body does not produce and release cortisol like it's supposed to. Never had any seizures, never had any adrenal injuries or anything like that up until I did hyperbaric therapy. So it screwed something in my brain. So I would not suggest doing hyperbaric therapy for any of your patients. So, yeah. I'm a guinea pig.
Well, and that's the thing, it's important for us to think about options, because a lot of folks that are in this situation, they want evidence-based therapies, but then if they are not getting the progress that they want, then they are sometimes willing to consider other alternative therapies. You had mentioned the psilocybin. That was not horribly expensive, and it didn't have any negative side effects, from what I can recall that you shared with me.
No, not a trip or anything. I mean, just so low of a dosage, you know. No, and I believe now there's like the acetaminophen is being prescribed for like depression, addiction, like that too. So they're doing what do they call it?
Hallucinogens.
Hallucinogenics for Medicare now too. So
I had planted that initial question about the beer, because my understanding is that you are no on alcohol these days.
No, I don't. And the reason is, after I had the stem cells, we got home the next day, and I was like, oh, I was drinking like normal, you know, after I woke from home and got out of the hospital. No effects from alcohol, nothing. But I noticed after we got back from the stem cells the next day, after having a couple beers, I didn't have as much function in my leg and my ankle as I had before. 2 days later, it restored. The 2 or 3 beers that I had actually killed the baby neural cells that I had reproduced that quick from alcohol. So no, I drink my mix zero now. So yeah, I do smoke pot every once in a while, but that doesn't have a negative effect at all. It helps me go to sleep at night. But as far as alcohol, I stopped drinking it, and I love my beer. I really love my beer. But yeah, I mean, I could do without it now. My function on my left side is a lot more important than catching a buzz, for sure.
Amen to that, Chris. I think you've clearly exhibited to everyone here today that your focus, your determination, and discipline is outstanding. What do you do on those days when you're maybe not feeling as unstoppable or feeling down? How do you get yourself in the right headspace? How do you refocus, if you will?
Music, and I like to go play in the dirt. I think I'm a farmer, folks. I grow banana trees, and I grow giant, well, not this year, I just got back to growing pumpkins this year, but I used to farm and grow giant pumpkins, giant ones. So I mean, I get back to my happy place, you know? I just get back to being me, man.
Back to being you, we alluded to the fact that there's been tons of memories over the years of you playing in bands. Tell us a little bit about that experience, getting back on stage and performing again. What's that been like?
It's great, man. I mean, music is therapy. Like, it's the frequencies, and it really is frequency that heals the brain. And that's why I was telling you, I had a leg up. I mean, from prior concussions and the music. I mean, it's really helped me heal a lot. And like I was trying to say, it's like I kind of talk a little funny, but it's because I only have one jaw muscle. This right jaw muscle is not connected. It's just knotted up right here because I never connected it. So I just have my left jaw muscle, and I'm able to work my jaw enough, as you can see, to talk and sing again. And I never had aphasia, thank God. I always had my voice, but now my diaphragm is not anymore. It was paralyzed partially, but now my diaphragm is fully woken up. So I'm able to get out there. I'm actually playing at the Babylon in Collegeville this Saturday night, folks, at 8 p.m. if you all want to come out.
So performing is part of your routine. I know there's probably a lot of people in the room.
Let's open this up for a question today. Want to?
I do. I want to open it to questions. I also want to encourage people, if you've been inspired by Chris's story today, if you know someone else out there who needs some inspiration in their life, Chris has written an amazing book. You've seen the tip of the iceberg today of what he's experienced and what his focus is. Please consider purchasing a copy today. If today's not the right day, put it in your Amazon cart or think about it the next time you go to your local bookseller. But it's an amazing story, and as Chris said, it's received such critical acclaim that it's being developed into a movie as well. So it's all part of the process, right?
I hate that word, process. It's like the word fine, process. No, I'm impatient, I'm stubborn. I don't like any of that. I want it now and I want it yesterday.
Yes.
When Rome was built, I built it in a day. So.
What other word do you not like, Chris?
Oh my gosh, it doesn't matter. I'm just trying to make everybody laugh. I'm doing a good job.
Is there anything you can't do?
No, I can do anything I want, and that's one thing too. When I woke up from coma, I erased the word "can't" from my vocabulary, and it may slip out every once in a while, but I try to say I'm going to be able to do this, or I ask for help, and I hate asking for help. I really hate it, hate it, hate it, hate it, hate it, hate it. But you know, you have to, you know, and I do. I ask my beautiful fiance, I say, "Baby, help me put my shirt on," because I mean, it's just, you know, the stupid things. Once again, going back, we all take for granted. So just make sure you love your loved ones hard. Cherish life. It's so precious. I mean, you just got to keep on keeping on and just be happy. Love, live, laugh.
Amen, Chris. Chris, while I'm going to move out here, I'm going to ask folks to raise their hands if they have any questions that I haven't
Oh,
tried to
hey,
answer for
one
you.
thing. I want y'all to remember 3 words for me, and I'll ask you all here before we wrap up. Okay. Before we wrap up, okay? And I wish my neurologist was here right now too. I should remember this crap. Okay. 3 words are glove, cactus, and hammock.
Glove, cactus, and hammock. Chris has a surprise for you, so we are going to get that in store as well while I'm preparing. Yeah.
And then I'll ask you if you remember the words.
So Chris, I have a question for you, and this is a great question because I can tell you Chris has impacted my life since I heard his story about 4 or 5 months ago. Chris, talk about the effects of sun therapy, because you introduced me to that. I know it's a big part of your regimen too, and the power of what the sun can do with us with the right exposure.
Well, since I've always been a sun king since I was a little kid. I should have been raised on the beach. But so as I was saying, I developed a secondary endocrine issue, so my body doesn't produce cortisol and release it on time. Well, I discovered if I get outside in the sun for at least 3 to 4 hours a day and not look directly into the sun, but look, you know, like kind of like around it, but I get those ultraviolet rays in my eyes. I don't need to take the hydrochlor, and it releases on time. Why? I don't know. My endocrinologist know. Alex Markov, he's like, Chris, man, you're amazing. I'm learning from you too. So, but yeah, for some reason, if I get the right amount of sun, I don't need to take any medicine now. On cloudy days, if it rains outside and I don't get sun, I need it. Take at least, I mean, I either go from 0 to 10 milligrams. Unfortunately, it sucks. So, in the wintertime that's coming up here, I'm gonna have to go lay in the tanning bed for, I'm only limited to 5 minutes a day just to get that UV light. Because it needs to go in our eyes for our endocrine system to release the cortisol. I mean, they're still studying on that. And so I told Alex and everybody else, I'm here for your, use me as a lab rat. I mean, here to help others. I'm in good shape, and I'm strong enough, and still young enough. According to my mitochondrial DNA, I'm only 42, so I'm sticking with it.
Any other questions?
Oh, look at the dog.
So I just have 2 quick questions. You mentioned a doctor in St. Louis that helped you with the stem cell therapy. Doctor, can you repeat his name?
No. He didn't help me with it. He actually told me my neurologist, Dr. Alexander Carter, AEC he's known in WashU circles. He said that stem cells were the wild, wild west, and I said to him, well, you know what, I'm going to be an outlaw. Now he is on board with it now because of what it has benefited for me. And what we were talking about was that he don't think it will ever go mainstream because Big Pharma and the FDA are in bed together, and Big Pharma will lose trillions of dollars because mesenchymal stem cells can repair brain damage, and it can help with MS and ALS and stroke recovery, restoring function. There's hundreds and thousands of people who have undergone the treatment around the world, and tons of proof. Now, why the Federal Drug Administration has other buds, it's between here and there, but I'm gonna do whatever I can when I'll be Congress next March.
So then, maybe I missed this then. What was the process that you actually took? Did you go directly to that True Stem company, or how did you?
Yes, yeah, I did, yeah. It's like I said, insurance doesn't cover it. It's about 12 grand, which you know what? You cannot put prices on limbs. And they harvest your bone marrow out of your choice of area, and then they process it, and then they reintroduce it up your nose via intranasal injections up the vessels feeding your brain. And the MSCs cross the BBB, blood-brain barrier,
and head to the damaged part of the brain like a heat-seeking missile, as I like to say, and then they transform into baby neural cells and start repairing and improve it. I mean, I have videos from me getting them done, and then 3.5 hours later, my ankle down to my foot were working.
That's amazing. Do you
That's what they said too, 'cause it usually takes 6 to 8 weeks for people to have done, but yeah.
do you have plans to do that again?
I've done them twice, no, and because my arm's not really working that well yet, but it's arm's taking longer, but I'm getting more function back now from it. But no, 2 times enough for me, I'm not rich. But I mean, yeah, so I mean, I just need more therapy, I just need more OT for my hand. I mean, once my hand's better, it'll help with my gait, and I'll be off the races and I will be running again. I know now, at this point, I probably can jog on a treadmill. Not flat out sprint, but I know I can jog on a treadmill. But having use of my left hand and everything, it'll be a game changer. And it will, and I will.
Another great question.
All right?
Hi. Is your book available on audiobook?
Yes, it is. Yes, on Amazon audiobook. It's not me talking though, so I don't know. I think it's the English guy maybe, I don't know.
That'll be version 2.0. Any other great questions out there?
I just had a comment about your HBOT therapy. Did you have the one session of the HBOT and initially had the seizure?
No, it was, that was like the 3rd or 4th time.
So in legislation this past year, I don't know if you've seen it, the Missouri Veterans Commission, it was passed in law for HBOT therapy for veterans.
Really?
And so I'm interested to maybe talk more about your
Yeah, I mean,
experience.
I would be very hesitant, to be honest with you. But I mean, and then also, per PubMed, every TBI injury should have their endocrine system checked out because they can potentially develop an endocrine secondary adrenal deficiency just with TBI alone. And not many doctors know about that as well. And there's like another thing with seizures, they should manifest within the first 2 weeks with TBI severely like what I had. I had none at all up until January of the following year. So, yeah,
Oh, interesting.
sound good.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
No, but if you buy his book today instead of on Amazon, he does autographs.
Yeah,
so-
thank you. Yeah, I'll sign it for you, exactly.
Chris mentioned that he's going to be performing on Saturday, but like the amazing performer he is, I think he has something else in store for you today. Is that true, Chris?
I don't know, do we?
Soon.
No, you have to come out Saturday night.
Okay.
But I'll sing a little bit for you. Thank you all for coming out. Come out Saturday night and see me sing with my band, No Extra Moon and Dr. Guy on the guitar. Thank you all very much. Come back again.